This call is being recorded.
We say Shalom Aleichem on the conference line.
Shalom.
And for the first time in a long time now, we're on Facebook live stream. So we're going to say Shalom Aleichem on Facebook live stream.
Shalom.
And now with that said, as we invite those on both circuits, our conference line and now Facebook on live stream, we welcome you to join us tonight for a reason. And for whatever reason you have for not coming to Miami to observe and to recognize the Feast of Tabernacles. This, as I mentioned last night, which was our first night, sundown September 26th, according to the calendar. This is our 70th observance of the Tabernacle of Yod Wafe. The 70th, not the 70th annual Feast of Tabernacles. This is the 70th year that the Tabernacle has landed on this planet. And we're going back to 1954 when the Tabernacle arrived. And that Tabernacle is a man, so to speak, looks like a man. We're going to prove it in a moment, but before we do, for the record of this recording, and now that we're on live stream, we don't want anyone to say that was recorded 10 years ago. And how could someone look the way he do who claims that he reached the big 7-0? We're not bound by numbers. I'm not aged. We're not bound to age. If we're bound to age, then we'll die. We'll die according to the age. We could die because of age. Like how some people pass away and they say the cause of death is because of old age. Natural causes, naturally old. 94, 99, 104, still playing the drums. Playing the drums one night at 104, and then the next night, the drums are playing for them. Just like that. Although these are the last days when it was also prophesied that the stars will fall from heaven. Anyway, that's not our subject. Our subject is the tabernacle is now with man. The tabernacle of God, Yod Wafe, that they know him, is with man. And that's according to Revelation chapter 21, verse 3. We're going to get to it in a moment. But again, as I said, for the record, this is now the beginning of the 16th day, according to our calendar, solar calendar. This is now the beginning of the 16th day of the 7th month of our solar calendar. Year is 6027. For the record, again, that's the 16th day now of the 7th month, 6027 of our solar calendar, not to be confused with July 16th of their calendar. According to their calendar, tonight is known as Friday night of their calendar of the week. And it's September 27th, 2024. September 27th, 2024. And now that I'm on Facebook, as you were surfing, those who are the Facebook alliances, as you were surfing today on Facebook, as they do every day, they put and post the alliances who are celebrating or recognize what they call a birthday on that date. And if you surf today and you follow my name as you see it in Hebraic characters, it says celebrating my birthday today, and they had the nerve to put a number next to it, 2 digits. And as some who call themselves friends or friendly, as it says in Proverbs chapter 18, verse 24, they type in a quick Happy birthday. And of course, I'm not a mean person. I acknowledge him. I appreciate the recognition, the shout out. I say to those who said it in English, I say, thank you, blessed, beloved, and many blessings to you. Those who say it in Hebrew, if they have a Hebrew name, I say Todah. And may the mighty God bless you. But as they made the error and said birthday, that's impossible because I'm going to set the record straight. A human body is only bound to one birthday. Let's just get it real. Let's get it out. Let's get it out. My people have been deceived in this country under the United States of America since July 4th, 1776. Before that, 13 colonies under the Queen. Been deceived for going on 70 years now in this country. Slavery. Happy birthday. For the record, I repeat, the human body, anybody, animal creatures, are only bound to one birthday. D-A-Y. Birthday. And that's the day that your mama gave you birth. Happy birthday. One. You're only entitled to one. Even twins only have one. Triplets, one birthday. It may be three of you, but you only have one birthday the same day. It may be minutes apart, but one birthday. Now, the next year, on that particular date of that calendar, you cannot have another birthday unless you're a robot. They have something for that too. When you go on the computer, they say, well, we want to test you to see if you're a robot. Click on the squares that shows a flower. We want to send you one for your birthday. That means the next year on that date of the calendar becomes an anniversary. That's big. Come on now. Let's get real with this. Happy birth date anniversary. If it was the second year, well, they don't know anything of 2 years old. I mean, here's a 2-year-old toddler, 3 years old. Only child. The mother goes out and buy a whole bakery for that 2-year-old and half to the toy store, half the toy department. Can't even talk yet. And invite everyone in the city to the party. And smother with gifts and everybody. It's my son's second birthday. So come over and say happy birthday. Blow out the candle, 3 candles on the cake. And they grow up like that. Oh, they grow that way. Until they add another 0 or so. And that's the 30th birthday. Happy birthday. I reached 30. I mean, how many birthdays can you have? Do we have that straight now? Okay. Happy. And I hope you're happy. See, they got to get past the happy part. I don't see how you can be happy with hurricanes blowing people out of the water and off the roof and trees falling down on people and hurting them and killing them. There's nothing happy about that. Losing your house or your car, losing a foot or a leg or arm because of an injury, and happy birthday. Lost a relative that you love, a child, you lose your job. Happy birthday. Your boss call you in to get your last check. This is your last check. I know your birthday next week, so I'm going to wish you a happy birthday in advance, but I got to let you go. Happy birthday. What's happy about that? Why they put happy in front of birthday? Even if it's, the 1 minute born, okay, how does a baby know to be happy at a birthday? Are you happy right now? Are you happy with the situation that's going on right now, even in politics, United States? They just accused the mayor of New York for being happy. The mayor of New York, happy, living happy. All of a sudden, he's not happy now because they're putting indictments on him. What if his birthday was today? What are you going to say to him? Happy birthday? Happy birthday anniversary. We're not going to spend too much time on it. I just have to get the record straight. Because why? Because I'm leading up to something, right? Okay, not only is it September 27th tonight, but tonight is also known as Christmas night. This is the true Christmas night. And last night in part one, our first night of the Feast of Tabernacle, we revealed that the Christ was not born on December 25th. Just reiterate a little bit. We revealed that the conception of Immaculate, it was an immaculate conception before she even had an egg in an ovary. A fetus was placed in her womb of a woman on the island on December 20th, 1953, December 20th. And 5 days later, some type of impregnation came about. And that became the 5th day of copulation. That happened to have been December 25th, 1953. And 40 weeks later, from that following Sunday on December 27th, 40 weeks from that week, which would be week 1, January 3rd would be week 2, all the way to September 27th. Actually, September 26th would be 40 weeks. And that's the true birth date of the Christ. And all the Jews knows that. All the Jews, the News, the Blues, they all know the truth of when the Christ was born. Some call it Yom Kippur, the Jews. Yom Kippur. That's the true date. Now, I challenge you to look it up. They won't deny it. So while you are exchanging gifts according to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 7, 8, to one another that you learn from your slave master, then you're not bringing a gift to the Christ on December 25th. So now you ask yourself the question, and this being September 27th, 3 months away from December 25th. The question that you should have in your mind is, why are you buying someone a Christmas gift to give to them on December 25th? It's not their birth date, anniversary. So why are you buying gifts and exchanging them, and some lose sleep for a whole night? I mean, for 2 days, they can't rest, can't wait until 1 minute after midnight on December 25th. They're looking at the clock. It's still Christmas Eve, y'all. We got 2 more minutes. And as soon as that clock hits 5 seconds after 12 o'clock, December 25th, okay, we can open our gifts now. And nobody invited Jesus. It's supposed to be his birthday. Supposed to be. Especially since his daddy bought them gifts, wearing a red suit, a black belt. What's the black belt for? He studied martial art. Black belt and black boots, walking on the black people with the black boots, the black minds. Yeah. It's amazing how he was able to bring gifts to over 200 million homes in just half the country. And just come down the chimney that's lit. The chimney's lit. It's a fireplace. Here we are in Nebraska, December 25th, 3 inches of snow. Minnesota, chimney lit. The only way and the only means of heating up the house. Here comes Fat Boy landing on the roof with a reindeer with a shiny nose. Rudy. Like Rudy Giuliani. I'm not calling any names. And tell Rudy to hold it down for a moment while he go down the chimney and leave some gifts. Leave a Rolex and a couple of iPods, and some shoes, Nikes, that he have in one bag. And don't get burned. See, that's what makes him Fat Boy. That's what makes him Satan. I mean Santa. I keep getting that mixed up. Wait, Satan. Santa. That's what makes him Santa. All they did was switch the N around with the T. Same thing. Satan, Santa is the same one. Red with a tail. He put on his head instead of his ass, instead of his butt, the tail. And don't get scorched. Go right back up the chimney with a white face. Don't even get burned. And while he put the gifts under the tree, a tree in the house, go to the refrigerator and open up a 6-pack and drink a Heineken or something, Guinnesses, that they left out for him. While the mother come down, the wife come down and say, you don't want to stay for a while and have dinner? No, I got this. I have another 199 homes, 100 million homes to go to tonight. And I got to do it because I'm running out of time. Right? I mean, why is it that our people, they fall for that? Huh? Yeah, well, yeah, that's. Oh, Frosty the Snowman is his helper. Imagine that. That's Minnesota. That's all the northern states in December. That's according to the almanac, winter starts December 21st, so it's supposed to be a little snow. Some people dream of a white Christmas, and as we dream of a white nightmare. It's called a slave master. Imagine those in Florida. That's just the funniest thing. My people here in Miami and Florida, where it's 90 degrees year round, go to Walmart and buy plastic reindeers and put them on the roof, put them on the grass, green grass. Yeah. Blow them up. Some made out of balloon. A nice wind come by and Santa. That's the only way we saw Santa fly from one neighbor's yard to the next neighbor's yard. There's Santa. There goes Santa, y'all. So he flies without the reindeer. Anyway, Merry Christmas. This is Christmas night. Merry Christmas to all and to all a good night. And no one brought the Christ a gift. Didn't put one on layaway and didn't lay one away for themselves. Buying for everyone else. Anyway, the truth is being told. You shall know the truth. And if you don't want to be made free or not, the truth is going to make you free. Not set you free. Set you free. The truth shall set you free is out of the Bible. Show it to me. I'm on Facebook. Go to the Bible, the one you have in your house. Any one of the 28 that's online. By King James Version. And show me in the Bible, the scripture, the book, the scripture, the chapter, the verse, where I can find, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And show it to me and leave your post office box or address. I'm going to send you a check or money order for $100. My word. And my people who are here with me, they know I don't lie. Oh, I will. Money order. I cash app you. It was another. I'll send you some money. Azale. I'll cash up you Azale. I'll send you $100. Just find the King James Version Bible, 1611 edition, and go to the Testament, if it's old or new, the book, the chapter, and the verse that says, and you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And get a quick $100 that you can use on a gift for somebody for Christmas coming up. In the time, as I said, this is the night of September 27th, 2024. And if you look on Facebook and look next to my timeline, you'll see the date that I came out of a womb on September 27th. And 70 years ago, it lit up the Bermuda Triangle at the West Point and landed right here in Miami of Florida, right over town. It's called Overtown. And as coincidental as it may seem, the hospital that you see this body, you look at this body right now, the same body, although it was really tiny, but the same big hands. The same big hands, 9 inches from pinky to thumb, measure it. This is in Isaiah chapter 40, the span of my hand. 9 inches. The same body with the same big hand you'll see on YouTube. They filmed it. The woman whose womb that I came out of that night, early in the morning, September 27th, was a Monday. She worked for the owners who owned Womeco Enterprises at the time of WCKT Channel 4, Miami. I believe that was a broadcast station. No, it was WTVJ. I'm being reminded and corrected of my mind. My arm is in here. You can't see him or hear him, but he's in here. He is really in here. And he's reminding me of WTVJ, Channel 4, Miami, CBS. And she worked for those owners as a maid. And they knew something of her when she was giving birth to this boy, her firstborn son. So they sent a camera crew out to the hospital where she gave birth to Overtown. It is on YouTube right now. If you want to look at it, all you have to do is go to your YouTube search box and type in Christian Hospital 1954. It'll pop up. And while you look at it, it's about 58 seconds short. And when you see the nurse at the time holding up a newborn baby, so-called Negro back then, that'll be me. That'll be the same body you're looking at now, 70 years later. And as coincidental, like I mentioned a moment ago, as coincidental as it may seem, the name of the hospital it was allotted to only Negroes. See, at that time, in that year, they weren't allowing Negroes to go to the county hospital that's known today as Jackson Memorial Hospital, the county hospital. They wouldn't allow Negroes to go to that hospital. So they had a Negro hospital over town. And the name of the hospital was called Christian. Can you imagine? Christian Hospital, which is, of course, an extension of Christ. Coincidence? I say not. So is it safe to say that the Christ was born in a Christian hospital? Ma, Ab, of course, means father in Hebrew, Alabeth. That's Strong's H1, the concordance. Ma programmed it that way. He designed it that way so it could happen just like that. So 70 years later on the night, I can come and tell you the story and testimony of it that is true. I will speak the truth, also known as the spirit of truth. I'm only introducing myself because he told me to do so. I'm not conceited about who I am or what I am, but he wants me to do it for a reason, that you have a chance to come. You have a chance to acknowledge it, accept it, or reject it. This is Judgment Day. Usually, I would go only on our conference line, record, and then we would edit it and put it on YouTube. But tonight, for some reason, he said, go live on Facebook and tell them, because they're going to be looking. They're hard-headed. They're going to be recognizing the Feast of Tabernacles a week from now, which is all out of order, doing what they want to do, where they want to do it, and how they want to do it, and have no idea what the Feast of Tabernacles is. Only thing they do is reading Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verses 13 and 22, and read Leviticus chapter 23 and verse 34 through 36 to observe the Feast of Tabernacles and have no idea what Tabernacles is, and even have a plural on it, Tabernacles. Show me more than one Christ. Now, for the record, and as before we go to that, I want to acknowledge there are some who are obedient and they came to Miami. They're here with me right now in this house, which is only a few blocks away from the same temple that my ARP stood at the podium from 1980 to 1990, stood at the podium every Feast of Tabernacles for 10 years and told them to come down to Miami to observe it. And even as we were elders in other cities, and I was one of them, the first city was Jacksonville, and I became an elder in that city in 1982. The last city that I was sent to was Detroit from 1982, actually 83 to 85. But every Feast of Tabernacles, we were to bring our congregation to the Temple of Love International Headquarters in Miami, Florida. Why? Because that was a place where he chose to place his name there. He was there. And as a result of obedience to this call this year, we have a few who came. And they traveled from across the country. They traveled from different states to get here by airline. And they're here now in this living room, almost 2 hand lengths away from me right now. Obedience. They must know something that you don't, or you refuse to accept and believe. But that's your choice. Do what you want to do, go where you want to go, be who you want to be, eat what you want to eat, drink what you want to drink, and say what you want to say. Type whatever you want to type in the comment box. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. It ain't bothering me. You're the one who's bothered because you're the one who have to type it. And your comments, your ill will comments, your glorious comments, your ridicules, your scorns, it does not matter to me because you cannot change who I am. Neither can you change who you is and who you're going to be and end up as. Just like that. You can't change who I am. You had nothing to do with me. Check my DNA. They did. The United States government checked it. They know I have 23 X chromosomes. And I have 1 Y chromosome. They can't figure out how that happened. You can come get my blood type, O negative. Come check it. Go check my birth certificate. And that's what I have. I have 23 X chromosomes and 1 YX chromosome, and I can prove it. Go get the certificates. Come get my DNA. Come get my blood. Why do you think hurricanes avoid Miami since I've been back in 2007? Don't you know I control them from coming straight through Miami, downtown Miami, where I sit? Don't you know I created that hurricane south of Cuba and drove it and steered it all the way around to go to Tallahassee, go right through the Panhandle for the first time in history? A Cat 5, it was a Cat 5. You can let them tell you it's a Cat 4 if you want to. They are avoiding the gusts that were over 155 miles an hour gusts. A Cat 5 hit Florida. I sent it there. You better read Nahum chapter 1 and begin at verse 2. And you cannot count Irma because Irma was a feeder band. I drove it around to go to the Keys. I had the keys to Irma. I'm the one who did that. It's called the God of the earth. You have the God of the heavens and the God of the earth. Let thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. What you think that means? Scared? How you spell scared? There is no more C. So you can't put a C after the S. There is no more. You better ask somebody, go get your grandmama, tell her I'm here. It's called Judgment Day. And you're being judged. And that nation whom they shall serve will I judge. Genesis chapter 15, verse 14. People have been calling me. I'm just checking to see how y'all doing down there in Miami. We down here partying. We having a feast. Yeah, but they say a storm hit Florida. Do you know how long and big Florida is? It's called the Valley of the Shadow of Death. So what we're doing is we're following in the shadow, not in the death. That means the shadow of death. That means the shadow is down here and death is above us. Study the shadow. You see the shadow is behind. The body is in the front. And the body of who they call Helene is in the front. We're in the back. The backdraft. Praise Yod.
Praise Yod.
You heard, you want to know why my tongue is like this? It's hidden in Isaiah chapter 49. It's a quiver, sharp, like, verse 2. We read that last night. So if you're looking for the Christ, you better find someone with the if that can do what I'm doing. Not the if, the ift. The ism. The ism of the ift with the lion's paw. And it's no longer shibboleth, neither is it sibboleth. You got to walk backward through the door. You don't know how to do that. That's why you're looking at it from right to left. The tetragrammaton from left to right. We went over that last night. I'm not going to give it to you because you're not here with me. I tell it to my angels, my holy angels in private. Isn't there? It started with John chapter 14, verse 1. I go to prepare a place for them. That if I come now, I come again. If it was not so, I would have told you that where I am, there you may be also. And they're here right now with me right now. Why you think my ARB came to Miami in 1979? You get the record straight. We're going to go to it. Moses Israel came to Miami in 1979 for a reason. You got it? Okay. And then they came and got him and took him away north to Louisiana in November of 1990. And on November 7th, 1990, they caught him in New Orleans, Louisiana, and arrested him, federal charges. He was convicted and served, as we had one more conversation, him and I together, in September of 1990. We had our last body-to-body contact interview. He interviewed me while he was waiting for trial at TGK. And as that last interview we had face-to-face, he told me to write a book. And I did. I wrote the book, studied my name, wrote it, and discovered a lot of myself that's connected to himself. And as he edited the book, read the book, he titled the book and let the whole world know who I am, and these ignorant fools still ignored it. And the book right now is over my right shoulder to the left of your screen. You should see it. I bear witness of the Son, Yod Hid, and you have no idea. He told them, I cannot help ignorance. I can help people who want to be helped, but I cannot help ignorance. He titled the book and told them, I bear witness of the Son, Yod Hid. And they could not accept that, especially the Peace Foundation. They took the book off the shelf, told me to get out. They thought they would put me out. You put my father out, fools. Why? Because he came right back to Miami on the night of the Feast of Tabernacles, 2001. Go to it. That's going to be. Meanwhile, before you go to it, grab your Bibles. Grab your study tools. Grab the King James Version Holy Bible. We done got the date out of the way. This is the night, this Christmas night, September 27, 2024, according to Gregorian calendar. This is the 16th day of the 7th month, the second night of our observance of the Feast of Tabernacle, not the feast. This is not, see, the feast is not a physical feast anyway. It's not feast. It's not F-E-A-S-T. It is not F-E-A-S-T. It's the family of the East. They just put the initial F in front of East. It's the family in the East with the tabernacle. It's not the Feast of Tabernacles. There's only one. It's the huts that you were living in, the booths. But it's the family of the East in the East, coast of the United States today in Florida. And grab your Strong's Concordance. Grab your Bible, your Strong's Concordance. Get a dictionary. Get a synonym finder if you have it by Jerome Irving Rodell. encyclopedia if you want. You can look up this history. I'm telling you, you can go right to your Y section in your encyclopedia and look up Yahweh, Ben Yahweh, and he should be in there by now. But if you don't have any of that stuff, study tools, then make sure you grab a pencil or ink pen to write with and go get a tablet or something to write on. Go grab an old junk mail and write on the back of that and take notes. Just take notes and study it. After we're done, go over your notes for yourself. Show yourself approved unto God. Don't ask no one to do it for you. I'm not going to do it for you. I'm gonna give you some materials that will help you. But study to show thyself approved, according to 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 15. A workman that needs not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth, not lies. I'm created off of truth. I'm not created from lies. Now, with that said, go to your Google search box and type in, see if you can find Yahweh Ben Yahweh released from prison. Let's see when that was. And when did he return to when that happened? I believe the year was 2001. You want the truth? Here, let the truth be told. Here come the truth. You should wonder why. First, he came to Miami in 1979. You thought he came for you. He came to establish the kingdom of Shalom. He came to Miami to establish Shalom, who was already here, but Shalom was not established. Shalom is a man. It's not a condition of the environment that you're looking for. Shalom is what you're looking for in the environment. Shalom is what you're looking for. Shalom is what Russia and Ukraine is looking for. Shalom is what those false Jews are looking for with Benjamin Netanyahu in the Middle East, with Iran against Iran, Iraq, and the Palestinians. That's Shalom they're looking for. They're not going to get it because it's not going to be any. The world is ending. There's nothing you can do to stop the world from ending. It's ending. I don't care who you vote for, who you vote with. I don't care who you campaign with or campaign for. I don't care who's president or who's secretary. I don't care who working at Burger King or McDonald's. The world is ending, and you can't stop it. The economy is going to be destroyed. It's going to go down. The economy is going to sink. The Dow is going to crash. The Dow Jones is going to be no more. The stock exchange is going to be no more. The U.S. dollar bill is going to be no more. The euro dollar bill is going to be gone. It's ending. Are you calling God a liar? You calling prophecy and all the prophets that left records behind, letting you know for over 2,024 years that this world is ending, and you think it's a joke. You think it's going to go on, so go ahead and buy your Christmas gifts. Go ahead and look for your Super Bowl in 2025. Go on. Look for your grandson who just turned 3 years old to graduate from college. Your best bet is to bow to Christ, to ask for forgiveness and repent and come and save and be with me. Oh, you don't know I own your soul? You better go and read Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 4. You better go and read it. We created you. Ezekiel chapter 18, verse 4. You better go read it and find out who your soul belongs to. All souls are mine. Do you have that? You found it? What do you see? Read it. My back is turned to it.
This is from the UPI archives.
The UPI archives. What does it say?
September 26,
So
2001.
what?
September 26, 2001.
What happened?
Yahweh Ben Yahweh released from prison.
And did what?
Miami, September 26. Yahweh Ben Yahweh, the cult leader, convicted in 14 murder conspiracies.
Yeah.
Has been
Which
released.
that, by the way, that was a lie.
All lies. All lies.
That was a lie. I was there.
Yeah.
I was there since 79. You go look on YouTube and you'll see me standing right there in his office on some of the television news networks channels that come to interview us. I'm standing right there, right in his office. Every time one of them come to the temple, go get Mika. And Mika went and got Mika. And Mika went right in the office and standing right there with my arm folded, looking like a Palestinian, tall, 8-foot soldier. and looking at him like, what you thinking? What are you thinking? And at that time, although it hadn't shrunk much, my biceps was 18 inches round. My chest was 44, my waist was 31. Where you think they get that? Where you think they got the idea? My aunt got the idea from to make the mighty black man. They thought their mind was so vain. They thought he was speaking of him. They did. My Ab is not the mighty black man. He created the mighty black man. And how could he be a master teacher? How do you downgrade my Ab to be the master teacher when he created the master teacher? Could you imagine? God, the master. Then who is his master? See, he deceived you. The world's greatest deceiver that ever existed was God himself. Why? Because he created deception. Lucifer cannot deceive unless Ma'ab created him to deceive. So he deceived you, making you think his name is Yahweh ben Yahweh. And those who are still hard-headed under the Queen of England and now under Charles are still English mindset saying Yahweh ben Yahweh with the vowels and everything else behind it. And even with the W, that they even cut the W in half and gave you a V. You think it's a W. How could it be a W? Do you know do it look like a W or a double V? Following the English mindset, you're gonna stay right there and be with England. I'm gonna leave you right there with England. Let your English God save you. You better go read Ezekiel and Jeremiah. Let the gods who they made save you. But Ma'ab is a true and living God. He is an everlasting king. Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 10. He is the living God. My God lives. What you mean died on May 7, 2007? Are you insane? He's not bound to a body. He created bodies. That's just a vessel he chose to come in. He chose to come in it. He's incarnate. And he can get another one if he'd like. He gave you one. Here you are. You're back. You were here before too. You did the same thing you did back then you're doing today. Why do you think sometime when I text them back in the comments and with their vulgar comments and the ignorant and rude comments that they make toward me, I say, welcome back. I'm used to that. Your ignorance don't stop me from doing what I have to do and what I'm going to do. Did you finish reading that?
No, sir.
Finish reading. We're dealing now with September 26th. 2001. Now, I don't know if you're going to read it, but I already know that he was released in August of 2001. He was free to go in August of 2001 after he paid a $16,000 fine that they wanted to pay. But he said, no, I'm going to wait. And he waited. He waited till after 9/11, 2001, the World Trade Tower was destroyed, and the Pentagon. And he waited, and he waited. And they asked him, well, you're free to go whenever you like. I'm going to wait. And well, where do you want to go when you leave? You can go back to Kingfisher. The mayor said, I don't want him back here. I don't want to go back. But he did it that way. He had to do it that way because, he's the incognito, the deception. So what else did they? Well, I'll go back to Miami. Well, you go back to Miami, but you can't go back to your followers. You can't come in contact with none of your followers, none of your congregation. It's okay. Go back to Miami. Sunshine. Get away from the snow. That's the only way to go. He came right back to Miami because he planned it that way from the beginning. For a reason. Right. He could have been going August. Got to pay a $16,000 fine. His attorney said, no, you want to wait. And he came out when? He did what?
Miami, September 26, 2001. It says, Yahweh ben Yahweh, the cult leader convicted in 14 murder conspiracies, has been released from prison and Wednesday was setting up quarters in a 4-bedroom home.
Where?
In Miami-Dade County.
In Miami-Dade County. Came back on September 26th and made sure he would get here before sundown. You couldn't even guess why. Or could you? Do you know that he was telling them it was a sign, although he was not allowed to call no one, write anyone, come in contact with anyone physically? But he still told them with his body and his arrival back to Miami on September 26th that that's where the Feast of Tabernacles must be observed, where I chose to come back to from prison. And on that date, why? Because it's the 15th day of the 7th month of our calendar. And they could not pick it up. But that's not surprising because he left audio cassette recordings that he recorded from prison and they couldn't pick that up. He left one in January of 1992 and they couldn't pick that up. We say he made up his mind. I made up my mind last night. I'm going into my secret closet and take up my holy garment, robes that I took off to come and get you. And I'm taking them up and putting them back on and putting back on my starry crown and put my scepter in my right hand and sit on my holy throne. And if you ever hope to be in my presence, you will most certainly have to be an angel of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. And that's a fact. Because it's a new mindset where I live, where I'm going. Isn't that what he said? And that's where you have to meet me. And if you think Galilee is a physical place, you are sadly mistaken. It is not. It's not Galilee. It's galaxy. It's the galaxy, the cosmos, where we hang out. They got the nerve to call us aliens. Can you imagine? Aliens, there are other beings and aliens from other planets that are circling the earth. They're all over the place. Well, who made you? Who made them? They have become gods. They have placed themselves above God. Who made you? Who created you in their image? How could you call God an alien? When you alienated yourself, when you started walking on two legs. You have not studied Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal man? And all of a sudden you look like, because you shave, you look like one of us when we shave? And you call us aliens? Don't you know that we could be sitting on a bus right next to you or on a jet airliner, even a cockpit? It could be an angel, a celestial being, and you don't even know it. You're looking for grays. What about the blacks? And looking for big eyes, giving you a cartoon mind, putting you in a fantasy world. Well, those were not big eyes. They were sunglasses. They were goggles that we were wearing because of the sun out in space. We fly at a certain distance toward the sun. You call them on Earth sunglasses. No such thing as Earth anyway. Letting your children grow into that foolishness and then buying them monsters for Christmas like that. Here we coming up on October next week. Tuesday would be October 1st, getting ready 30 days from then to go dress your little boy up like Donald Trump. To come make him, you're going to make your son great again. So you're going to dress him up like Donald Trump. Let's make my son great again. He just got out of jail. Make him great again. Dress him up like Joe Biden too. I'm not prejudiced. And dress the women up like Kamala, right, Kamala? Yeah, look at her face. Look how she fine. You mentioned my name. Yeah, you better read Ezekiel chapter 18 again, verse 4. Debrief. Praise you. I'm having a good time. Just be celebrating. The tabernacle is here. Are you done with that article that my op came back for a reason before sundown on September 26, 2001, came right back to Miami as he did in 1979. And they didn't even pick him up from Miami in 1990, November 7th. He drove but he didn't drive himself, but he was taking a limousine to New Orleans, Louisiana. Are you finished with the article?
Another portion.
Is the portion going to be related? What's the portion say?
Yahweh 66 was released.
66. Imagine that. 66. Was released what?
Tuesday night after paying $16,000 in fines after
I mentioned it. They did mention it. 16,000.
After a dispute over conditions surrounding his parole, which came after serving 10 years in federal prison.
Okay. And they thought he was an ordinary man. Can no ordinary man do what he did and what he's doing? He's not done. You ever heard of an ordinary man reading a library? You know, I'm gonna speak of my daddy. Some people, when they work in the library, they go eat donuts and have a lunch break. He was eating books. And he read, as he was working in the library, from 00 to 999, he read the whole library and he became the books. There was nothing, is nothing, that can never be nothing that he don't know, because he knows it all. Imagine God being bound to knowledge. Imagine it. God is bound to a secret that he don't know. You better read the Bible, because somewhere in there it says, can he hide himself from me in secret places? Do I not cover the whole earth? Said the Lord. Who is it that can hide himself in secret places from me? It's in there somewhere. I may not be quoting it correctly, precisely, verbatim, but I know it's there. So we're in the tabernacle, the second night. You done with that? Go to Revelation. Go to your Bible and go to Revelation chapter 21 and read verse 3. Now let's see how many tabernacles there are that we're supposed to be observing, and who the tabernacle is. Right? Okay. Revelation chapter, get your Bibles. I told them to grab their Bibles. Revelation chapter 21 and start at verse 1. Read from verse 1 to 3. And so they can see there's no more sea. They don't know what that means. See, only the Christ can reveal this, because this book was sealed. It's cryptic. The whole book called Revelation. There is no prophet named Revelation. I don't know why they named it Revelation. But the whole book that's called Revelation is sealed. It's cryptic. It's in crypto. It's codexed. All 404 verses is cryptic. It was sealed. No one can loosen or comprehend them. That's not even speak of understanding. Read verse 1.
And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away.
So show me in the book where it says the old heaven and the old earth. The first heaven is Ma'al. The first earth is Ma'al. Mm-hmm. Now there's a new heaven and a new earth, which is the sun. Mm-hmm. And when the sun returns in the last days, he's going to do away with the sea. Read and see if it's there.
And there was no more sea.
There is no more sea. And that's why we're not using sea anymore. It's a homophone. That means when I return, I will speak a language with Judah that Judah will be speaking from the slave master, as in ABC. They call them alphabets that does not exist in the English's idiom. The English does not have an alphabet. It's alpha. Look at what it says. Alphabet. Alpha is the Greek's A, and bet is the second one of the Hebrew character. So how do they have alphabets? That means they stole them from Greek and Hebrew. The character, they actually have just letters. Letters. So the third letter of the English's idiom is pronounced C. It's a homophone for SEA. So when I return, I'm going to do away with the C, and you will start using the S or the K. For example, there'll be no more ketchup with a C, as in CATCHUP, ketchup. Now you got to use a KATCH, catch up. And there's no more cereal with CEREAL. Now you got to use the SEREAL, cereal. So if I give you a word and I spell it this way, SERIAL, what is that? I just, again, SERIAL, what's that? Cereal. Okay, so what's this? C-E-R-A-A-L. C-E-R-A-L. What's that?
Cereal.
So which one you make up your mind? You said S-E-R-I-A-L is cereal. Now you're saying C-E-R-E-A-L is cereal. Which is it? One begin with a C and one begin with an S, which is a homophone. So there's no more C. Why? Because the new heaven and new earth did away with the C. They didn't know what that means. They couldn't figure it out. Second verse.
And I, John, saw the holy city.
You know who John is? See, that's another recording he made that they couldn't figure out. And that was done in 1986, right there in the temple. And he revealed to him, John's the man. John's a prophet. You see, Jesus, the man that is called Jesus, remember the name of Yahshua. Yahshua was a student and disciple of John. That's who the Christ is, a student and disciple of John. John is A, and that was who they called today Yahweh ben Yahweh. He's John. So I, John, right? So a new city, what?
New Jerusalem.
And you know what that is? What, descending down?
Coming down from God out of heaven.
And that's exactly where it came from. He put it right there in the head, and it came, and it was manifested right here behind this gate. And John saw everything that was going on. And what?
Prepared as a bride adorned for her husband.
And we're still waiting on him. We have the table settings, everything waiting on him to come right now. So you've been brainwashed to think heaven, you must die. You must die to go to heaven. And somebody waiting up there for you that you used to go to school with. If you had a loved one or someone you was in love with, and they died, they waiting on you, but you're not busy committing suicide to go join them. Could you imagine the dead people in heaven? Let's not forget the formaldehyde that they embalmed them with. The body drained all the blood out of them. Could you imagine? They drain all the blood out of the body in the funeral parlor. And they put him in a coffin and they go talk to him at the funeral and kiss him. A shell. And say, I'll see you later, baby. You rested. How could a dead body, though, R.I.P.? I'm still trying to grab hold of that. How could someone dead rest? No, how could a dead body rest in peace? I just want to know. And they're dead. Oh, there you go, talking about the dead now. No, I'm not. I'm speaking of them. I'm not leaving my op out. The dead. And you see, there's two different deads, though. You're dead. Listen to me. You're dead telling me I'm speaking of the dead. Do you not know in the Bible it says she's walking around dead, walking around dead? So you're dead, and I'm speaking to the dead. Spiritually and mentally dead, destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. That's where that's hidden. Dead, just dead-minded. Following the dead. Well, let the dead bury the dead. Yeah, you don't want to follow life, then let the dead bury the dead. Follow me and let the dead bury the dead. Can you suffer me to go bury my daddy? Yeah, go bury him. Or just let the dead bury the dead. But the dead will also hear my voice and live. Some of the dead will hear my voice in the last days and they will live. And they should rise. All they have to do is hear my voice. And some may even say, you know, he kind of sounds like Yahweh ben Yahweh. You do, he kind of sounds like it. That's because he's in his body. Dwelling in the body. It's not my body. I didn't create it. I was just a soul. But he gave me a body just like he gave you one. Now we're in 1 Corinthians chapter 15. Each seed has his own body. As it pleased him, he gave each seed a body. Right? Read the rest of that.
And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them.
Well, hold it now. The tabernacle of God is with men. Now, you could have a tabernacle of your own congregation, but it's not the tabernacle, it's with men. That means you built the tabernacle out of some wood you got from Home Depot. or you found a carpenter or a contractor to build you a tabernacle wherever you are. Now you have your own tabernacle, but it's not the tabernacle of God.
Mhm.
The tabernacle of God is with men, and this tabernacle is being referred to now as a he. He shall dwell with them. And what else it says?
And he will dwell with them,
Mhm.
and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them and be their God.
Is that a capital G and lowercase O-D?
Capital G, lowercase o-d.
And that's what John saw. So it couldn't be John. John saw God, the same God that he made and created, that was being with the people as he are today. Is that right? Ah, that's the benediction. That's just the benediction. Let's continue on from last time. I don't have to go and prove anything. I'm not proving anything to anybody. I'm just doing it for those who don't know. Because those who know, they won't say. So those who know, we say. And we share. So others can know, and then they share. And all of a sudden, we have a domino effect. And it'd be like a wildfire spreading out across not only the United States, but all over the world, all over the globe. So let's continue on as night 2 from last night, that we're revealing 7 castaways. There actually is only one. And they have been watching this sitcom since 1964, I believe. You thought it was Gilligan. So we left off, we revealed last night who was the star. Let's get to YouTube and go to the theme. Let's let the people see now, because we're not going to be too long. I know we like to have fun here. We're going to fellowship without you being with us. We're only letting you see this part so you can get your mind blown, get all that dust and dirt out your mind, and get some reality in your mind, get your mind blown. We're going to blow it right out. Blow it right out. Go to the theme, and let's see what we got here. Nice and loud. Now you got some sound on that. They got to hear this.
Just sit.
From the beginning. There you go. From the beginning.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful trip that started from this tropic port aboard this tiny ship. The mate was a mighty sailing man, the skipper brave and sure. 5 passengers set sail that day for a 3-hour tour. A 3-hour tour. Weather started getting rough, the tiny ship was tossed. If not for the courage of the fearless crew, the minnow would be lost. The minnow would be lost. The ship's aground on the shore of this uncharted desert isle, with Gilligan, the skipper too, a millionaire and his wife, the movie star, the Professor and Mary Ann, here on Gilligan Drive.
Okay. Now let's go back to your internet. Last night we introduced, of those 7, it's 7 spirits, 7 so-called lost castaway people of the European race. Right? And then we revealed that the most prominent of the 7 was who? Mary Ann. So go back to your Strong Concordance and we didn't type in Mary Ann, we typed in her name, that a given name or her star name, which is Dawn Wells. So just quickly reiterate that. And remember, this is a 3-hour tour, which represents the third day. The third day, a 3-hour tour, right? And my op did say in one of those epilogues in the University of Yahweh back in the days that I shall rise on the third day. No doubt about it. Right? All probably tells you that I shall rise. But he's used I as in Roman numeral 1, letting you know that one shall rise. Common sense alone won't even let you know if there's no common sense. Won't even allow you to realize that he left this planet on Monday, May 7th, 2007. And some are still waiting for him to physically rise with that one. Not realizing that's a Roman numeral 1. 1 will rise on the third day. Now we're going to help you with the Gilligan. By the way, Gilligan is not Gilligan, it's the G. G represents God. The ILL is ill for 7 days now. And the GAIN, the last 4, the GAIN, put the A next to the I next to the A. You have again. And we know what the again, we put the again to, we found out Sha'on. We found Sha'on next again, again. Took us to Joshua in 1919, didn't it?
It did.
And then we found out it's not Gilead, it's not Gilligan's, it represented Gilead. That we found on the H1568. It's not island, it is land. And that the Christ was created on is land of the womb of a woman of the Isles. Is that right? Okay, you typed in Mary, you typed in Dawn, you got to type it in now. You type it in. Dawn Wells, DAWN WELLS. We're going to do just as we did last night. You have it together. Click on it. It's in the Bible. Dawn Wells, also known in that sitcom as Mary Ann, right? Mary Ann with black hair. Isn't it? Did you see it? 0 times. Now go back to the search box, right? And leave dawn just the way it is, because that's just a break of day, dawn. And separate the W, the E, the 2 L's, and the S. And now that should take you someplace. I'm doing it with. Where did it take you now?
2 places.
You mean Dawn Wells actually shows up in the King James Version Bible? In 2 places. Is the first page you have in Matthew 28:1? Read it.
At the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn toward the first day of the week.
Now here we are on the second day. The second day of the observance of the feast of so-called the Feast of Tabernacles. And here's dawn. Came who?
Mary
Ann. Mary Magdalene, and the other Mary of the sitcom, the other Mary. To see who? The Sulpiture, the shipwreck. That was not able to sail anymore. And when we clicked on dawn and the G2020 in the Greek, we came up with what? To grow light. Didn't we? I mean, you must be children of the light. You must see this light. You have to come out of darkness and come to the light. But we went to the etymology of that, which is G2017. And that lets you know what? And the meaning.
Shine upon Christ will pour upon you.
Read it loud so they can see it. Some people don't have this. They may not even have it. They may be blind. They can't read, but they can hear you. So say it loud so they can hear it. What's the first meaning says? Number 1.
To shine upon.
And the number 1 again. See, that's the I meaning.
Mm-hmm.
But the number 1 meaning is what?
Christ will pour upon you the divine truth as the sun gives light to men aroused from sleep.
What? And you're telling me that that's under dawn? Okay. That's under Matthew chapter 28. And it's amazing that both meanings are in the New Testament. but they're not the same numbers. Go to the 2 Peter definition now, chapter 1, verse 19. Read that.
We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place, until the day dawn and the day star arise.
The day
in your
star arise.
hearts.
They were all stars. Hollywood. In your hearts. Because them people back in the day, they loved Gilligan Island. Oh yes, they did. I was a youngster. Sat down every week it came on to watch Gilligan. What's this down? The G1306. Click on it and see where that takes you to.
To shine through, to dawn.
Do what?
Of daylight breaking through
of
the
daylight
darkness.
breaking through the darkness of night. And the etymology on the G1223, it took you to what? A different place of time. That means when that sitcom came on in the early 60s, it was designed in the last days to take you through a different time throughout prophecy by the means of something else. Isn't that what you see under G1223? Click on it and see.
Yeah.
Of time throughout a different time period, during a particular time, like in the last days, by reason of whatever it means of Gilligan's Island, the ground or reason by which they were shipped of something is or is not done to be rescued. It's right there. On this account. Isn't that what you see? That's just a little bit of reiteration of what we did last night. Under Don Wells, who was also known as Mary Ann. That's the first spirit. There's 7 spirits. So that means this is the light that you must be able to grab hold to coming out of darkness, because now it's dawn. This is the morning of the third day, a 3-hour tour. This is the morning of the third day, and you must rise again. You must rise, Judah. Come out of darkness. You must rise. That's the first night. Now this is the second night. So who you think the star is tonight? First, let's go to the ship, the SS Minnow. Write it down. Write down the SS Minnow. That's MINNOW. SS Minnow. You have it? Write it in the Bible. Go to your Strong Concordance and write down MINNOW. Let's see who's going to get this light from Mary Ann. This is the name of the ship, isn't it? Okay. It's in the Bible. You just didn't know it. You have it? Well, search it. It's in there. You just got to click on it. Because, you know, in order to see the light, once you see the light of Mary Ann in the dawn, then you'll be able to rise. When will you rise? You must rise now during this 7-day period of the Feast of Tabernacles, so-called. You got it? Do you see it?
Occurs at 0 times.
That's not true. That's not true. I'm here to speak the truth. Go back to what you typed. You must not have typed. You must have typed SEA instead of the C. What you typed? Like I said, you typed the SEA and not the C. In other words, you typed the homophone. You typed in a homophone. You typed in the minnow. Now let's try it again. You still have it up there? Now change the I to an E. You did? What do you have now?
Now.
Seeing the same thing. Now separate the two ends. You did? Now what do you have? Now click on it. Now. Click on the ship and see if it take you to 2 Samuel. Chapter 2 and verse 14. And I'll read it.
And Abner said to Joab,
Yeah.
let the young men now arise and play before us. And Joab said, let them arise.
So now tonight, young men, arise. Come out of being shipwrecked on the slave ships as you landed on Plymouth Rock during the 16th century in Jamestown, Virginia. Rise, Judah. Rise. You want to know what this fulfillment is? Click on the meaning of men in that verse. See if it takes you to a servant and a retainer and a babe, youth, servants, servants of God, Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. Is that what you see? That means you must shake off the dust off you from the valley of dry bones. So shake it off. Go to its etymology under 5287 H, 5287. See if you're not to shake off the dust off your brain, your minds from the valley of dry bones. We're going to be going to the valley of dry bones in a minute. Is that what you're shaking off? Toss up and down in the ship? Look in the definitions. Do you see overthrow, toss up and down?
Yes, sir.
To tumble about?
About.
In the what? In the ship. Then you see at the beginning of the theme, the ship was rocking, being tossed. Right, because you need to come up and rise. Wake up. Come out of darkness and come to dawn. Come to the light. And be a retainer. That's on the men. Now click on the next one after now, arise. And see what you have. Because once you arise and come out of that darkness and see this marvelous light, you should become very powerful. Somewhere in there should become powerful. Stand up.
It is number 3. To arise.
Read it.
Become powerful.
So that means you're no longer suffering in a shipwreck. You're no longer being brought over on ships, as it said in Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. That means you must come up now and measure the temple. Another fulfillment of Revelation. Is that what it says? Rise. You know where it comes from? Now go to Revelation chapter 11 and read verse 1. Revelation chapter 11, verse 1. We're dealing with the ship. This is the ship, which you thought was a minnow. It wasn't a ship anyway. It was just a yacht. It wasn't a ship. It's amazing how we watch that sitcom, and every week we watch it, they had on some different clothes. I don't remember them taking any luggage on that little yacht. They came with radios and televisions and everything else. And all of the guests that arrived on that island to rescue them, they left them right there. Yeah, left them right there. It was so simple. Just take us with you. Read verse 1 of Revelation chapter 11.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod.
Now I'm giving you something to read. R-E-E-D. Like a rod that stands at 72 inches in height. That comforts you in the staff. as we walk now in Florida, which is the valley of the shadow of death. You should fear no evil, no matter how the ship toss and turn. And do what?
And the angel stood, saying,
Rise from the minnow. Rise, men, now. Rise, men. Men, now, rise. And what?
and measure the temple of God.
With your mind. The temple is your mind. The tabernacle of God is with men. Do you not know that your mind is the temple of God? It is. Don't you know, if you look at the skull of the human anatomy, on the side of both sides of your skull, you have a temple? Don't you know that makes you concentrate and think and become powerful? Some people, when they grit the teeth, you can see the grit in the teeth through the temple. Measure it and come out of her, my people, and rise. Come out of darkness. Leave her alone. And the altar. This altar is not, they have A-L-T-A-R. They put an A there, it should be A-L-T-R, and alter your way back to who you are. And them that worship therein. But the court, which is without the temple, leave out. They're not interested. Why? And measure it not. Why? For it is given to the Gentiles that left them on the island. Didn't want to rescue them. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 42 months. Now you see it? Okay. Now the start of night is going to take you to Gilead, which is Gilead. That'll be Gilead tonight. Gilead is Gilead. So go to Gilead, type Gilead in your search box. Gilead is really Gilead. That's who Gilead is. That's who he represents, Gilead. Gilead. Right? And guess what Gilead is? How he represents, how does Gilead fit into prophecy today? Go to Ezekiel chapter 47. We're dealing with a measure, right? And we're dealing with what they call the Feast of Tabernacles, that are also known as caverns, or huts, or cottages. And Moab said, if you want to see him again, you must certainly have to be an angel of Yahweh, because I'm certainly going to Galilee. And if you think that's a physical place, you are sadly mistaken. Why? Because Galilee is hidden in Gilead. Are you there?
Yes, sir.
Ezekiel chapter 47,
Yes.
read verse 18.
And the east side ye shall measure from Haran, and from Damascus, and from Gilead, and from the land of Israel by Jordan, from the border unto the east sea. And
did I mention east side, east sea, the feast? And this is the east what?
Side.
The east side. Here we are on the east side of Florida, in the east sea, with the F-E-A-S-T of Tabernacle. And I want you to click on, you go to Haran and click on it. H-A-U-R-A-N, as you ran. And what do you have?
Caverns.
Caverns. Read the number one meaning of Palestine.
A province of Palestine, east of the Sea of Galilee.
East of the what?
Sea
The
of
Sea
Galilee.
of Galilee. You think it's a physical place. Why? Because they're saying what? It's not a physical place because the exact region is what?
Uncertain.
Uncertain, but what?
Probably on the borders of the desert in the Tetrarchy of Philip.
Yeah, they don't know. That's not where it is. It's cryptic. And I click on Damascus of the same verse, H 1834. You go with the meaning. And what you have.
Silent is the sackcloth weaver.
Right. And we're looking for people in a particular region. That means the people that were Gilligan on that shipwreck were from a particular region of Europe. I'm looking for a particular region of people from the Middle East, known as Judah. So go click on Gilead, and let's see what the meaning of that is under H 1568. 1568, like another year when they brought slaves over from the west shores of Africa in the year 1568. Click on that, see if it takes you to a rocky region, and then a people of that region.
It does a rocky region, a mountainous region bounded on the west by the Jordan,
right,
on the north by Bashan, on the east by the Arabian Plateau, and on the south by Moab and Ammon.
Right. Go to the etymology on the 1567, a year before that. See if it takes you to the witness heat. It takes you to a pile of stones that were heaped up between Jacob and Laban.
Wow. Mount Gilead.
What does it say?
The pile of stones heaped up between Jacob and Laban to certify their covenant.
Right.
Located on Mount Gilead.
Right. Exactly. All related. That means Gilligan's Island is all related to Israel, Judah, Jacob. Why not? Because the one who wrote it was a Jew. Schwartz. He was a Jew. That's Gilligan. A heap of stones. And that's, don't forget Gilligan, right? You got Agin. Right? That means the Valley of Bones represents Gilligan, and Gilead also represents the Valley of Dry Bones. Ezekiel 37. Go to Jeremiah chapter 5. And read verse 26 again like we did last night. Read that.
For among my people are found wicked men.
Yes.
They lay wait, as he that setteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men.
Now, how was that? Where did that come from? That came from Gin, the suffix of Gilligan. So now go to your search box of the Strong Concordance and write down A space Gin, which are the last four letters of Gilligan. A space Gin. And see if it takes you to a Gin and what Gin means. It'll take you right back to Jeremiah 5:26.
Isaiah 8:14.
8:14. Yeah, go ahead and read Isaiah 8:14.
And he shall be for a sanctuary, but for a stone of stumbling and for a rock of offense to both the houses of Israel, for a gin and for a snare to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
Right. Now click on again and see where it takes you. See if it takes you to H6341 and tell you what the trap is. And that's how we got to Jeremiah chapter 5. To set the trap for Ben. Right?
Plots.
Even for net. There's also found in Micah chapter 7. It's prophetical. Go to Micah chapter 7 now. Remember, it's the only book in the Bible with 7 chapters that represents those 7 people. So it was those 7 people on that island. And read verse 2 of Micah chapter 7.
The good man is perished out of the earth.
Shipwrecked. What else?
And there is none upright among men.
Why?
They all lie in wait for blood.
With again, G-I-N. They do what?
They hunt every man his brother with a net.
Right, again, the trap. Verse 3.
That they may do evil with both hands earnestly.
Mm-hmm.
The prince acts it, and the judge acts it for a reward. And the great man, he uttereth his mischievous desire, so they wrap it up.
4.
The best of them is as a briar. The most upright is sharper than a thorn hedge.
Mm-hmm.
The day of thy watchman and thy visitation cometh. Now shall be their perplexity.
And every episode, they had a visitor come on that island to so-called rescue them. And they never did. So we're a little behind. Now go to the skipper. The skipper name, they just call him Skipper. The skipper is very much part of the Feast of Tabernacles on how you to celebrate. Go back to your search box and type in Skipper. That's all they called him. His name was, at the time, Alan Hale. You got Skipper? Well, type it in. This is the Bible. Don't you see it? You found it? Skipper, huh? Okay, I'm patient. I'll wait. I know I have my back turned to it, but
0 times.
No, don't tell me those 0 times. If I say it's in the Bible, it's in the Bible. Don't you call me a liar in front of these people. I'm on live stream. I'm on live stream. I can hear him now. Oh, they got him now. They got him now. You should be embarrassed. They got him now. Did you spell it right? Make sure you spell it right. Skipper. Or are you going now again with the C, S-C-A? Okay. So let's do this. Separate the 2 P's. Now separate the E from the P and the R from the E. Now try it. Let's see if it takes you to only 1 verse in the whole Bible out of 66 books and what you're supposed to do during the feast.
Psalms 29:6.
Don't tell me it's not there. Read it.
He maketh them also to skip like a calf.
Hold it before you even do it. Right? Before you read it, click on, there's only 11 verses. Click on it. Click on it, and then click on your concordance so you can see when we get to it what skip means. That's a skipper. This is Gilligan's Island. This is the one who's in charge. He's supposed to be in charge. Start at verse 1. Psalms chapter 29.
Give unto the Lord.
Do what?
Give unto the Lord.
What?
O ye mighty.
Ye mighty are the men, the same men that we found out just now. They're supposed to arise and come out of darkness and come to light. And give what?
Give unto the Lord glory and strength.
Verse 2.
Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name.
See? And do what?
Worship the Lord in the beauty of holiness.
Wow. Verse 3.
The voice of the Lord is upon the waters.
The Lord's voice or the voice of the Lord?
The voice of the Lord is upon the waters.
These waters are people. What else?
The God of glory thundereth.
Mm-hmm.
The Lord is upon many waters.
These waters are people. Verse 4.
The voice of the Lord is powerful.
What? Did we just see powerful before in the meeting? And what else?
The voice of the Lord is full of majesty.
What? Don't you see that? What else you have? What else it says?
The voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. Yea,
The
Lord,
cedars are also found in that island. Cedars, trees. What else?
the Lord breaketh the cedars of Lebanon.
The cedars of Lebanon. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? And do you know the word Lebanon means whiteness?
Mhm.
The white folks. Read on.
He maketh them also to skip.
Now here comes the skipper of the minnow. The men now skip like a calf. And the white people are watching them dance. And Sirion like a young unicorn. Before you go to verse 7, click on skip under H7540 and see what it means. No etymology as we come to the feast. To do what?
To dance.
To dance and leap and to make the skip. To spring about. To jump and have a good time and dance before the Lord. And you thought this was just Gilligan's Island. Here's a skipper. We got Mary Ann, we got Gilligan, and then we got Skipper. No etymology. Just dance and have fun. Go down to verse 7.
The voice of the Lord divideth the flames of fire.
Verse 8.
The voice of the Lord shaketh the wilderness. The Lord shaketh the wilderness of Kadesh.
Sound like a hurricane going on now. Verse 9.
The voice of the Lord maketh the hinds to calve, and discovereth the forest. His temple doth
His temple, what?
doth everyone speak of his glory.
Right now. Verse 10.
The Lord sitteth upon the flood.
Even the floods of North Florida and in Georgia and all in other parts of Florida. What?
Yea, the Lord sitteth king forever.
How long?
Forever.
And verse 11.
The Lord will give strength unto his people.
He might.
Will.
To his people. You mean the Lord have people that are his? And what?
The Lord will bless his people.
He even have people, his people, he will bless them.
With peace.
With what?
With peace.
By that peace is shalom. And they have also that piece of shalom. So that means this peace gonna be both shalom and shalom. He would bless his people with shalom that would be with his people, the man. Let's close that by showing them who shalom is, who this peace is. But click on that first under H7965. You have it?
Yes, sir.
Look at number 2 under peace, friendship. Go number 2. That shalom is what? With God?
With God, especially in covenant relationships.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Shalom.
I mean, God is going to put shalom with his people. And shalom will be born from among Judah. Shalom will be born from among Judah, even as they are little among the thousands of Judah.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's close that up. And we'll close by going to Micah chapter 5. Let's prove that. Read verse 2. Micah chapter 5, verse 2.
But thou, Bethlehem Ephratah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from of old, from everlasting.
Mm-hmm. Now read the next verse.
Therefore will he give them up until the time that she which travaileth have brought forth. Then the remnant of his brethren shall return unto the children of Israel.
The last days. And then what?
And he shall stand and feed in the strength of the Lord. And
right.
The majesty.
There's one particular person who came out of the womb of Judah in verse 2. He come from everlasting, but he will be born from among Judah, just as it says in Hebrews chapter 7, verse 14. And what else?
And the majesty of the name of the Lord, his God, and they shall abide.
Speaking of a man, of his God. They shall what?
And they shall abide, for now shall he be great unto the ends of the earth.
Read verse 5. This is the first. Who is this man will be?
And this man shall be the peace.
Okay, that's all you need to read. That's who shalom is. That's the peace. When you click on the etymology of the other reference of shalom, it's going to take you to It's going to take you to shalom without wab. Wab is the third Hebrew character from right to left of Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh, which represents the way. The way to what? Peace through the door. You get to the truth and then you get to the life. Yod-Heh-Wav-Heh. That's the second night. We had a late start because we had a late day. There's also an early start because our days begin at sundown. So we're right in the beginning of, again, the 16th day of the 7th month and the second day of our recognition observance of the Feast of Tabernacles, so-called Tabernacles. So with that said, we're going to have whatever left of this darkness, fun and sun, and eat if you want. And we're going to be doing this again tomorrow night. I'm not saying we're going to be on live stream, but we're going to be doing it. You want to see us, you got to come to where we are. Well, my chose to place his name there. And all you have to do is get here. And sometime, if I'm allowed, I will help you to get here. I will. Transportation, gas, oil, shoes, walk, bicycle, Uber or Lyft. I'll lift you up. So we'll see you on the third. Tomorrow night, we're going to the third night. Is that right?
Right.
Okay. So let's say we're going to thank those who allowed us to take up a little bit of that Saturday night or Saturday morning now, Friday night, whatever they chose. Happy hour or 2 hours or whatever happiness you had. We was glad to be a part of it. So with that said, be safe. You know, hurricanes are out there, tropical storms, tornadoes are out there, earthquakes are out there, in diverse places. Just be safe, Judah. Whatever you do, make sure you praise and pray to your God, the God of the Hebrews. With that, we say, Lala Shalom, and Shalom.
Lala Salam.
Praise Yod.
Praise